today, which you may have seen. This one that I'm wearing is probably the biggest surprise. This was a fabric that we had last year, and a lot of people loved it after I made the sweater, so I'm wearing it today, but I'll definitely take it off right after this video because it is not cold enough for it yet, because this is a really, really cozy Alpine fleece. You may have seen this last year. It is the think layer raglan that I did, and I added some ruffles on it, and I did put some really fun details on it. I will repost this make and the details about it in the newsletter tomorrow. But what's most exciting is that they did actually reprint this collection, which I'm so excited about because yeah, it sold out so quick last year. Let me quickly check that we have the, I don't know if my microphone changed to this. I'm not really sure how to adjust that. I hope that it works out. That would be really nice because I think that the audio was not always the greatest with the so let me know if the audio is a little bit better like this. Anyhow, this sold out the moment that I made the sweater, and we did get it back. We got it back like that. It was there last year. So number one is the one that I am wearing, which is magnolias on, but I think they're magnolias. I haven't seen Alpine fleece yet. Well, then maybe the connection is not stable with YouTube for this. Like, it worked yesterday on my video, but I will actually just disconnect that, and I hope we'll just go with the default microphone. Let me disconnect this. Are we still getting audio? I hope we are. If you can comment on it, anybody that's live, that the audio is indeed okay, that would be very helpful. Anyhow, the Alpine fleece. So the Alpine fleece is a really stretchy fabric, and it has this really, really soft, almost minky. Thanks, Elizabeth. Always need everybody's help. So it has a minky-like feel on the back, and it is so soft, and it is so warm, and it is really stretchy. And for especially a cold Ottawa winter, this is perfect. Keeps me warm, keeps me really great. And I do want to show you that the inside of my sweater still pretty much looks like the original fabric. And I've been wearing this one a lot last year, and I will be wearing it a lot again this year. Holds up really nicely and super cozy. So this one, I'll just have to go through the pile because I piled it really high, and then we will discover all of the different prints together. This one was also a super favorite last year because it has these really nice snowflakes. It's like almost like a lacy snowflake design with this blue and just like a hint of pastel-y purple colors. So this is a really nice frosty winter design, also on the Alpine fleece. Ooh, hey. Oh, I felt that sneeze coming on from the fluffy things and the dust that we do have in here from cutting all of these beautiful things. So totally worth it. Let me pull this one out. That's the other one that I wanted to show. So this is same print as this, but on the darker color. Also absolutely gorgeous. So you're gonna have a hard time deciding which one is the one you want to get for yourself, or you might just have to get both. And there was this guy. This one was gone instantly. I think last year it was gone within the first 5 minutes because this is quite different. I didn't tell my kiddo that it came back because last year he was sad that he missed out on it. I didn't tell him it came back. So I'll give you dibs on this one if he shall be so lucky that there's some left. Maybe he'll get a sweater out of it as well. Like, look at this. Look at this guy. All of these super deep sea creatures in their bioluminescence also on Alpine fleece. And in this case, the Alpine fleece back is gray. And do we have another one? No, those were the 4 in that collection, but we also have the solids to go with it. We have the charcoal, not as exciting, charcoal is charcoal, but the pink, and I think this is the first time that we have this shade of pink, super nice and bright pink, and it's gonna go so nicely with the snowflakes, for example, or on its own. This one is also really nice for embroidery, especially if you're doing a machine embroidery where you want a little bit of puffiness, like a line design. It's gonna really, really stand out because it is a really squishy fabric. Really love it for that. Then some heathered ones. A heathered, I want to say this is like the oatmeal or gray. I think it's oatmeal. Then a heathered blue, almost like a denim-y blue. This one is also a first. This almost burgundy red. And the nice thing is that the inside of it is also burgundy red. And here is the gray. Yeah, so the other one was oatmeal. This is the light gray. And we have black. We know what black looks like. Black is black. But this one, super gorgeous color. I'm looking at it. This is like the same color as like some of the leaves in this design. Like especially with the dark one, I think this one would really pop. Or with the deep sea one. They are a polyester blend. So Alpine Fleece always has a little bit of polyester in it. Actually, like it's like almost 50-50. It's 55% cotton, 40% polyester, 5% elastane, and they're 300 GSM, which makes them so super warm. And they do not pill, because I know a lot of polyester fabrics, after a while, they pill really easily. I have not seen that happen with any of my Alpine fleeces because they do have a really high cotton content. And the amount of polyester that's in it is what gives you that insulation factor. All right, so those were the, oh, I guess I could take this microphone off because we don't need it. Those were the Alpine fleeces for the week. But I also have some really nice prints on French terry that I found for you, and they're a little bit of a mix. Like this one, the Mimi staff yesterday already went ooh and ah over it. So I did tell them that this week they do not get first dibs on this one because this is a really nice one. This is a dark leaf print with lots of shades of green, and then you have these highlights of almost like a maroony purple color in there. I think this is absolutely gorgeous, especially for fall winter season. I think this in like a sweater dress or a bomber jacket or a sweater will be really, really beautiful. And you know, wear that with a pop of color like a little pink scarf, because you know, I like my pops of color, but I love this French terry. Really amazing. And then the 3 other French terries are for our little guests. I wanted to say guests, but you know what I mean. For the little ones. How nice is this one? They did a really good job in the way that they printed the colors to really make it look like it glows. Like it really, really does. And in real life, because the cameras just don't capture it quite as well, in real life you can see that even more, that effect. It is very luminous, it's very neon-y, really cool paw print French terry, and you can easily combine this with so many colors. That makes it much easier to choose the right ribbing, because I don't think you can go wrong. Number 2, farm animals of the cute kind. I fell in love with them right away. We don't get enough farm animals or farm themed prints, but this one in that comic-y style I think is even more awesome. And this one, when you have little scraps, you can easily make a little pocket by fussy cutting around one of the characters and just adding it as accents to things. Like, how fun is this? There's a cow, a horse, a chicken, a cat, a sheep, a dog. Like, all of the essentials in farm animal land. And then my personal favorite, I might just have to make something out of it because I'm slightly obsessed with these guys. Even though I was never in the unicorn phase. I feel like that was not really much of a thing when I was a kid, which was eons ago. I guess they just didn't do unicorn prints. But this, I mean, come on. Come on. Those are little puppies in a unicorn costume. And they are so adorable. Look, this one looks like my dog. I do have a boxer, and I feel like that looks totally like my dog. And I absolutely love this fabric. It is so fun. So unfortunately, like I saw a comment, but unfortunately, kind of it pops up for a second and then it goes away. Live chat. Oh, there you go. So Lori is saying, I'm looking to make the Jali Roxanne joggers in a cotton spandex lycra that is not too thick, but thick enough. So yes, so for the joggers, I usually do use a French terry or the soft sweat because they're not quite as thick as the Alpine fleece. So the Alpine fleece would be if you wanted to be really warm and cozy, but I have made them in the French terry before, and I do use the French terry for my kids as well because they are 95% cotton, 5% elastane, which I do think is in that realm of what you're thinking, but I would definitely use ribbing for the cuffs because that is more stretchier to get your foot through. Now I have another thing that is super exciting. So the Madeira threads and have finally arrived. I mean, you've probably seen me ooh and ah all over it, and I've hinted about it. And we have been working on putting all of our new towers in the shop. Maybe I'll give you a little swoop. Can I do a little swoop? Oh, and then there's the tower that's in the way. But this is the new serger thread tower, which is expanded from what it was before. So before the cones, you know, these cones were the serger cones. Those are the ones that were sourced through the US. And now we are able to source them from Europe. It's like from Europe directly. And they have the original size. So it is just a different size and put up. So there's two sizes. So this is the old one, which we still have a couple of colors of, and they are discounted right now. So it's still a fantastic thread to get. We just don't have a display for it anymore. So that's why we are discounting these to liquidate those. And then the new ones will have two put-ups. And so that we have the mini kings and the king cones. So the king cones, I think it's 2,500 meters, and the mini king are 1.2 thousand meters. And there's also more colors. So these are just three of the colors that we did not have before. Like these are kind of the in-between kind of dusty colors. So there's some new hues, especially in the king cone. There are more colors in the king size cones. And they're absolutely fantastic. And then in the mini king, you also have things like neons. We did not have neon serger thread before, so when I did sew neon things, I always had to get just like a little spool of regular sewing thread. It's just not ideal. It's just not the same kind of thread because serger threads are finer than your regular sewing thread, your Gutermann or your Aerofill, which are oh my goodness, now I need to remember my numbers. They are heavier. 80. I think it's an 80 weight. I'm going to sneak because I can't remember. They are, Airfill is what do you know? It's 120. 120 for the Aerofill. I think the Gutermanns are a little bit heavier than the Aerofill, and then these are 125. So they're a little bit finer and they just come off differently because they're on a cone. So they are ideal the way they unwind on a serger machine. You could also use them in a regular sewing machine. But what's really nice is that we also have variegated colors now. And we have the variegated both in the Aero Lock, which is the regular serger thread, and the Aero Flock, which is what some people know as woolly nylon. But it is not a nylon thread. It is a bunch thread, like it puffs up. There's a lot of really great benefits to having that thread. Number one, if you put it in your lower looper, which is where it should go most of the time, when you're sewing with knits, your seam becomes more elastic because your lower looper, that is where your the stitches on your left and right needles are anchored through the lower looper. And so when you stretch that that's where it would pull. So it makes your seams more elastic, or if you're doing anything where you want your seam to be softer, you can put in a looper. So you can put in the looper of your cover stitch when you're doing underwear, swimwear, those kinds of things, or just you want the inside of your seam to be softer, then you can put in the lower end and the upper looper. So we have all of these now available already online for you to shop. Next thing is the Prym colored buttons are finally here. I'm so excited. I feel like it's been forever. Approximately, what is the GSM? So Lori wants to know what the GSM of our French terries are. I think they all range. So this particular one is 230. I think they're all between 230 and 250. But if you go to the individual products, they will actually have the weight on them. So most of the French terry, our organic French terry and French terry prints are usually around the 230 to maybe 260 GSM. So the Prym colored snaps are finally here. So those are the jersey snaps. So those are the 6-prong snaps covered in colors. There's 11 colors that we have. I'll just show a couple of them because how cute are these? So there's the mint, there's a green, this is the purple or violet. And not only do we have them in the color snaps, we also now have the eyelets in 8mm. So we've had the colored ones in the 14 and the 11, which I absolutely love. I'm actually just going to show those right here. I've used them here. This is the 14 that I've used on a hoodie sample, and this is also the 14. This is the 14 that I've used, and they're so fun. So now we have the 14, the 11, and the 8mm in the colors, and you can install them with this tool. So if you don't have the Very Creative tool yet, that is definitely one that is worth investing in, because that is the tool that will be able to take all of the adapters and install all of the Prym line accessories, if that makes sense. Because with the Vario, the hand pliers, the Vario tool, you cannot do eyelets because it is limited by the size. So the 11 and 14 you can only install properly with this one, and it's also just much easier to do. Another exciting thing, because some people are like, well, I like all the colors, but it gets really expensive if you buy the full set of it, because there's 32 in there. But then you could also just get this. So they have this little heart box with a mix of all of the colors of the eyelets in it. And we do have it for the 8mm, 11mm, and 14mm. So the 8mm will have 6 sets of each color. The 11mm will have 5 sets of each color, and the 14mm has 4 sets of each color. It just gets you to try them all, see how you like them, and then get down to your favorite color. It does not come with the adapter, so you do have to get the adapter, which is color coded dark green for this one. If you need any help matching these things, because sometimes I know this can be confusing, just let me know. So these are probably the most exciting things. Now I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I usually do. If I do, I will definitely put it in the newsletter tomorrow. Definitely the details about this sweater will be in there, some more details about the Prym products and the threads that are coming in, and I will just keep you updated. And you can also just message us anytime if you have any further questions. So thank you so much for watching today, and I will see you next week. Happy shopping tomorrow, and have a great rest of your day.